So my name is Marisol Perez. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Psychology at Arizona State University, and I am a body image prevention researcher and health disparities researcher. We presented at the State of Arizona Women Leading Government Conference, and this is a conference to help build the leadership capacity of women government employees. So we gave a number of suggestions, but we also had really active participation from the management teams on how to build workplace inclusive environments. And so there were a number of strategies that we came up with, day-to-day, organizational, and policy level strategies. So in the day-to-day, participants came up with these ideas of really making pledges with other coworkers to avoid body talk. And among women, when they engage in body talk, it's negative about themselves or about others. Just the same, avoiding the self-negative body talk while complimenting others on their accomplishments. Another thing we learned from our participants is that they felt women get more likely in the workplace to be acknowledged by their appearance and less on their performance or accomplishment. And even some mentioned, my boss will say, hey, I think you're losing weight, but just the same has never said, wow, on that project you really rocked that. You really did a great job coming in on the deadline. And so really making a concerted effort to acknowledge women more, reward women more socially for their day-to-day accomplishments and project-based accomplishments. So those were some of the day-to-day activities. The other thing that really came up was how often all of the social activities that are created in the workplace are central around food. In fact, we talked about in the workplace environments, most of their congregating areas at work is in the kitchen or around food, and how perhaps when they develop potlucks or any social activities that they add languages. You can come and participate in the potluck, you can bring your own lunch, or you can just come and hang out. So shifting the focus away from this is an activity around food to the purpose of this activity is to get together. And that minute detail in an advertising on a workplace activity might really make a big shift in who shows up. And also highlighting the fact that when workplace activities for socialization purposes centralize around food, that there may be people opting out. That external boundary really creates an in and out group. And so getting those that opt out to engage in a way that's also comfortable and mindful of that. So those were some great day-to-day activities. And then we shared some of the National Eating Disorders Association recommendations for organizational cultural recommendations. And some of those were, it's really common now for workplaces to have these weight loss competitions and, and even give rewards or incentives for participating in physical activity, right? And so it's great to have health and mental health programs, but not focus it on a weight or on a number, but rather the benefits of health and physical, mental health and physical health. And so one of their recommendations is when the workplace is creating activities, which are great, just don't focus it on the number or on the weight or weight loss, but the health aspects of it. Other things that are recommended for a workplace to just be mindful, especially those in the managerial positions, is that body talk can constitute harassment. And so even though we're socialized in our day-to-day activities to talk about our bodies, our appearance, and others, right, in the workplace, that actually, there's an external constraint or boundary. And so for those in management to really normalize that this is not okay, and that in some contexts this actually can be a violation of workplace policy. And to have that upfront so that the culture shifts to be more weight neutral.